We are here at the Cybertruck Delivery Event after party, and you may be hearing Sandy Monroe in the background. He's on stage right now with Zach and Jesse and Kyle Connor from Out of Spec. They're talking about specs and features and all sorts of things. I'm going to try to pull some people here as people are milling around, as people are leaving, get some impressions, see how people are feeling about the event, about the trucks that were here tonight, and how they feel about specs, prices, features, all that stuff. My overall impressions are we saw some amazing things in the factory, how they build the Cybertrucks, how many of them there are. They only delivered about 20. We thought it was going to be something like 10, but I was thinking, well, the factory's going to be pretty bare then if, they can only deliver that many. But if you looked into the dark areas, kind of behind the displays, you could really see multiple Cybertrucks up on racks, like they're on the production line. So it seemed like, yeah, there were just a few delivered, but they seem to be able to be making these relatively quickly. And also the assembly system seems a lot different than what I expected. I hope I can find some of my footage from that. I was doing a lot of streaming from the event back here to the after party. Doesn't sound like they were able to collect that footage, so hopefully there's some B-roll on the live stream. I'll have to look back because obviously I didn't see it live. But I'm excited that it does seem like they're actually going to be able to ramp this relatively quickly, and they seem to have good plans for how to do that. Definitely, if you take a look at the model from the reveal to the engineering demos that have been out in testing to the vehicles that have actually been delivered, there is a huge quality difference when you look through those three tiers of development. And to me, the vehicles that were delivered or ready to be delivered looked very sharp. So I was glad to see that. Kyle's just on stage talking about prices. I was going to also say the price is a little bit eye-watering, especially for the highest trim, but the dual motor is under $80,000, so it would apply for the tax credit, and that means that comes down a little bit more. I think it'll be a while before we see the single motor, but that will be a little cheaper. Actually, with the tax credit, it'll be cheaper than what I paid for my Model Y. So that's pretty good. But, we're missing some features that were announced. The range is gonna be fine other than towing, but there's a range extender. So, we'll see kind of how these things work out in the wild once they're actually being delivered and in people's hands. To me, as someone who comes from an event production background, I thought the event was very smooth, just enough time to get through the tour, the walkthrough of the factory. They were relatively on time, especially for Tesla, and delivered events. So they did what was promised. We'll have to see how this all goes, with deliveries, with people actually owning them. But for me, this was a fantastic event. Amazing to see the factory. I'll have more insights about that once I'm not here with so much background noise. Lots of thoughts, lots of takeaways. So I'm going to try to get a hold of some people. We'll see who we can talk to.
Sure, I'm Brian from My Tesla Weekend.
All right, Brian, what were your thoughts as we saw the Cybertruck delivery event today?
My gosh, it's been so many years of waiting. I couldn't believe it finally happened, and they still don't look real, and we've seen them in person. Big takeaways: steer by wire. That means we're going to have right-hand drive. That means you can sell this in Australia for sure. Maybe in some other places. Maybe it'll make it to Europe, we're hoping. But it's more configurable than we had hoped. Now the question is it also going to have brake-by-wire? We don't have an answer to that yet. We'll find out tomorrow, right before this comes out. So takeaways, and the price is correct. $79,990 for a dual at launch is right, because we'd like it to be cheaper, but they're going to sell every one they can build for the foreseeable future. And if the demand starts to slack a little, throw 500 discount, 1,000 discount, watch it go back up. If that doesn't do it, raise it $200 and watch it go up. So the price is right. They got to keep the margins high because they got to pay for all those machines, even though they're only making a small number of the anticipated final run.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Any other big takeaways or?
No, this is gonna change everything. This is absolutely gonna change everything. Designers are gonna have to rethink what they're doing because this packs a lot of punch for less weight than others have been able to figure out how to do. It's got more utility. than just about anything else out there.
Yeah, I'm very excited to actually see them on the road with customers behind the wheel.
Right, right. And it's, again, they just don't look real. But you'll see, they're out there, they're real.
Excellent. Well, thank you very much.
Thanks, Brian. It's good meeting you.
Have a great night. Nice to meet you too. By the way, nice to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you. I'm Mario.
We're here at the Cybertruck Delivery Event after party. Were you able to go over to the actual event?
So to the actual event, I was not able to attend, but I have been very proud and happy to see this entire event being planned by the Austin's Owners Club. Matt Holm and Underback have done an amazing job as well, gathering everybody here together. So yeah, I didn't get a chance, today to see the event itself, but extremely excited about what Tesla's, providing now to the market. Well, again, I think it's an incredible product, a new vehicle that has never been seen before. It's completely iconic. I think it's going to create, a different taste that the market has been waiting for with a lot of anticipation. And hopefully, I'm hoping to jump onto that train as well and purchase one in the next couple of years, given that the reservation list has been so long.
Is there any specific feature or anything that you're really excited about, or just the truck in general?
Yeah, I would definitely say, in terms of the aesthetics, it's just been wonderful to see something that looks completely out of a sci-fi film. Again, Tesla has this ability to just break away from the general mold. And so in that regard, again, and they always make it functional, whether they're fast or now it can pull the weight that it can as well. So yeah, just excited about that.
Yeah, very cool. Any other big takeaways or insights, or just enjoying the party?
No, enjoying the party, making a lot of good connections here as well. Incredibly enough, I have a startup that turns Tesla vehicles into a philanthropic force, where every mile that they drive or time that they're driving or even fuel savings turns into contributions to nonprofits. So it's nice to be able to connect with different Tesla drivers here, get their insights, and then they're getting excited about that possibility and a lot of collaboration that can happen for making a change, not only with their sustainability efforts, but now also to the philanthropic purposes for nonprofits that are doing a great job as well on the field.
Nice. And what is that what is your organization called?
So our company is called knobl, spelled KNOBL. We're already live on the market. We're on the Apple App Store, hoping to just jump on the Android train in 6 months or so. But it's nice because we already have a lot of campaigns that have been going on, and they've already been, completed for different disasters that have occurred, such as like Morocco, Libya, what happened in Hawaii, what's happening right now in the humanitarian crisis. And it's incredible. These Tesla drivers are becoming heroes for just driving their vehicle. And these contributions are being sent to these different nonprofits like the Red Cross, St. Jude's, and various others. So yeah, we're happy to be here in Austin. We're based here in Austin, and this has been an incredible opportunity to connect with people. And they're the change makers. They're the heroes making that happen.
Excellent. Sounds fantastic. I'll definitely have to check that out.
Yeah,
Thank you. Save battery. Unfortunately, I hit record when I thought I was hitting stop after our conversation. Sorry guys, thanks for participating. Hopefully, I won't screw it up if I see you at the next event.
My name is Jarett from Automate Construction, and I'm super interested in construction automation, 3D printed houses, prefabricated construction, and that's why I'm here at the Cybertruck event, the pinnacle of manufacturing. And even though I don't know so much about cars, it's way over my head, but it's just so cool to be here and see Tesla, I would say the best engineering company in the world, taking a swing at pickup trucks for the first time. And I got one on order for the past 2 years. I love to be here. It's incredible to see. And I wish I understood more about the technology in the cars, but I'm just here to learn.
Yeah, it's very interesting. Were you able to go over to the factory?
No, I didn't get tickets for that. Luckily, I got a ticket for this before it sold out, but I wish I could. Did you?
I did, and so that was one of the fascinating things to me, talking about construction animation or automation. Yeah. Seeing the robots in action and the different sleds, the way they move these huge vehicles around and just, keep that production line cranking was really fascinating.
I heard one of the innovations they had in their factory was holes in the floor so that they could pass items through from the first floor to the second floor. Did you see that?
Yeah, there's definitely a few different points where the vehicle or, the sled, depending on what stage it is coming across on the second floor, will cross over a walkway, then come down do some stuff, then go under the walkway and come back on the other side and do more, just really fascinating how they, have each step kind of winding around each other.
It's really
And-
4D chess.
Yeah. As far as the vehicle goes and, what was announced and stuff, thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs
What
up.
do you feel?
Always thumbs up for Tesla. And, I do a lot of driving, like 5,000 miles a month. So I appreciate that extra range pack. Sometimes I like to sleep in the car in between the long drives. And so the Model 3 is great for that. I know you could fold the seats back. I'm wondering if the Cybertruck has any ability to either fold the seats back or full front seat fold back, or like ideally the Cybertruck would have better sleeping options than the Model 3, right? So I'm hoping that kind of pans out.
Yeah, we'll see. There's no pass-through between the back seats and the bed.
Okay.
But I was able to see that the back seats in the car, or in the truck, do flip up, and there's quite a bit of floor space. Now, you'd have to sleep sideways, but it's a pretty big vehicle. It would be doable. They have I think it's an aftermarket, like gear tray you can put under the seats. So when they're folded up, you can use that space and
Nice.
contain items.
I saw the tent as well, but that's a hassle to put up and put down. The Model 3, you could really just fold the seats down. You get a flat surface. You get a little mattress pad or something. You have like a queen-size bed with or at least a full-size bed. I don't know.
Yeah, I've slept in my Model Y. So I had a Model S before that and slept in that a handful of times. So, yeah, it's easy to do in those vehicles. We'll have to see how the truck works out. Any other big takeaways?
I'm not an expert in this field, but I just think it's definitely like an engineering masterpiece and maybe a sign of the times of how cars are going to be built in the future, with more gigapresses and more things being folded or manufactured in less pieces. Maybe they can even draw some of that stuff and pull it into construction of housing in the future too.
Yeah, what the Giga castings, this was my first time seeing the Giga castings in person, and you can see in the aluminum the flow of how it's pumped in there, and you can see kind of the waves of as it was pumped in and formed, and that is just fascinating.
And a structural battery pack.
Structural battery pack comes right with the seats on it, just goes right up in. So, yeah, very cool.
Hopefully I get to see the factory someday.
Yeah, this is my first time, and it's really a unique place. So I hope you get to see it too.
Yeah.
What was the name of your channel again?
Automate construction everywhere.
All right, thank you. Thanks for joining me.
Nice to meet you.
Alexander.
Alexander?
Yes,
So
sir.
what are your thoughts on the Cybertruck? Thumbs up, thumbs down?
Thumbs up, definitely. I love the truck. Definitely. See it in person it's amazing.
From the reveal, what was your reaction to that? And then the comparison to now seeing the production model?
So I have seen the test models, I guess, the R seen before, but the actual production one, it's really nice. I think the product itself, a lot of people complain about the finishes, and I think they misunderstood that they're working through the process, but actually seeing the product itself, it's nice. I think it's one of the nicest ones, nice cars that I've seen.
Are you thinking of ordering one, or do you have one on order?
I already placed an order for my wife. I guess we're not lucky enough to get one soon, but yeah, we placed an order about a year and a half ago. So hopefully call us soon.
What was your favorite part of the presentation, or favorite feature that you've seen from it?
I mean, the video, of course, like the video of like showing the truck doing all these things are amazing. But I guess the one that I got really excited was when it was racing the porch and it won, towing a porch. That was well thought, and I think it shows the capabilities of the truck. Like it is true. I mean, I was telling my wife, it's a car that most people on paper and on a screen, they might not like it, right? It looks like a render, right? And it doesn't cope with the reality. It's like, but once you see it in person, once you see what it's capable of doing it just completely changed your mind and your perspective of like what's actually the future is now. It's not like 10 years from now. It's like the future is happening now, and I think that part it's really amazing.
Yeah, to see it driving down a regular street.
Yeah,
really cool.
it looks like a 3D, like actually looks like out of its place. So you see all the scenery, you see the roads, you see the houses. You used to see the shapes of, different shapes, and then you see the truck, and it's like a Photoshop. like somebody put a Photoshop on the street. It's just weird to explain it, but yeah, I'm definitely very happy and super excited to see it. I think it's gonna be a great product. Hopefully the range is a little bit better than what they're advertising. I don't think the base model is gonna happen. I mean, they're offering the base model, but I don't think it's just like what happened with the Model Y. They pull it off after a while. So I think that the base model, it says available 2025. Who knows if that's even gonna really happen, but I mean, we'll see. Hopefully we can get our hands one of them soon.
Well, I hope you do. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Have a great night.
Yeah, same.
All right, my name's Jeremi. I know Brian because we're both editors with Zach and Jesse. I think, first, just phenomenal event. Great. Like, put it on the local Tesla clubs. It's my second one of these events to come to. It's just nice. Meet everyone, see faces you see online all the time. Everyone's so friendly. It's just nice to talk shop with everyone. The event today kind of felt like the semi was like the event with like no details. It was kind of just like the launch event of like the beta product, right? And then with like the previous releases, like with the 3 or Y, where it actually felt like more real, more tangible. I felt like this one's kind of like in between. It was like short. It was classic like Elon awkward presentation. Like that's just like part of the shtick. And like it's from like a presentation standpoint, like you have Apple on one side where it's like polished, right? Steve Jobs was just like perfect. Everything was planned. And that's what he's like famous for. And the Elon is just like, no planning. I'm just going to go up there, shake people's hands awkwardly for 5 minutes, like bad care, jam everyone in this corner. But, that's the Tesla way. It's less about show and it's more about show, I guess. My favorite feature is just the vehicle to home, vehicle to load. Just being able to have that feature integrated, like it's obviously something that's only for emergencies, but in those emergency situations, it's like crucial. And just like from my point of view, whenever the Lightning announced that years ago, my dad, who's not in this, like doesn't have an EV, like not into it, he was like, oh, I want that. And like, it's obviously something he would use like once every 2 years, but he lives in Houston, we have hurricanes, and once every 2 years, you don't have power for 3 or 4 days. So being able to run the fridge in a little window unit to stay cool when it's really, 100 degrees during hurricane season is one of those things that's like 0.5% of what that car will ever be used for in its life. But that 0.5% is like such a security blanket. So anyways, that's my favorite feature. And just seeing that they're like the whole ecosystem of solar, Powerwall, inverter, plug into your car is all one thing that's going to communicate with each other. That is just like, I've been waiting for that, and it's like obvious, they're the Apple of this whole scene when it comes to software, and obviously like with the Ford, it's just like a software nightmare where they can't get all the technology communicating with it properly. So to see that Tesla's going to do that, and they'll do it properly, and everything since they build everything from the ground up so much that it will communicate, it'll all be in the one app, it's going to be seamless. That's just like a future that I just look forward to, right? Just being able to be like, oh, the storm's coming. Let me charge up to 100% tonight. And then a storm comes and like, oh, power's out. We're good for 4.5 days because the car's plugged in. Like, that's just a fun future to think about. Anyway, so those are my favorite features.
Excellent. Well, thank you. Have a great night. Nice to meet you in person.
Meet you in person, too.
Hello, I'm here with Jim, the Iowa Tesla guy, who you may have seen in the rest of this video. Jim, we're just wrapping up here at the end of the event. How was your day, the event, and the time at the factory?
Oh man, this whole weekend, these past couple days with the trip down and the Cybertruck event and not expecting to see the factory and then seeing Elon and the after party's been wonderful. It's just been kind of a sensory overload for me, and it's really kind of hard. I'm sure there's so much that's gone into my brain that just hasn't been processed yet. But I got to meet a lot of really great people. I got to meet a lot of, I fanned out on a lot of YouTubers here, and they're just really genuinely good, nice people. And this is a wonderful community. And for this being my first event, it seems like this would be one that would be hard to top. This has been really good, really good.
When we were at the factory, what was your biggest takeaway, either with the truck or the production line?
The part that really struck me with the production line was just, you could tell by how everything was going together and how everything was laid out, just how well thought out the design was. It didn't look like a traditional type of automaker building cars. The level of automation that they had, but there was still a human component to it, which was key. It's just, especially seeing layers of the Cybertruck peeled away as they were building it. You can kind of see down below from the casting to the sheet metal pieces and how well that they're perfectly cut and thought through. I think Elon said it perfectly when he said, building a prototype is easy, building it at scale is infinitely harder. And you could definitely see it. That factory was super impressive. To me, much more impressive than the truck itself, which was it's a cool truck, but the factory is where it was.
Yeah, I definitely had that impression too. Like as I'm walking through, and you see the different things that they're showing you, but also see the stuff behind that, the stuff in the dark that's just kind of half showing up, and it was kind of like like Disney World, where you just see one thing after, and then there's another layer. You see that, and then another layer, and that was really cool. Like the truck is cool. The truck is the truck, but yeah, the factory was.
The factory was intense, and what was clear to me is that there were a lot of Cybertrucks there in various stages. I mean, this thing is ready to roll off the production line, and they're really gearing up for this thing. So it's a real truck, like it or not. You may think it's too expensive. You may think the range is too low.
And that's where the camera gave up the ghost for the night. But if you'd like to hear more of Jim's thoughts after the event, we did a live stream on the way home. And then Jim has just published an excellent video of our walkthrough through the factory. It's concise, it's well edited, energetic, and feels like you're there with us. And that video can be found on Jim's channel, the Iowa Tesla Guy channel on YouTube. I'll be posting a video with my insights and impressions of the factory tour and the Cybertruck itself on this channel soon. And then the next video will be Jim and my road trip down to Austin, Texas overnight, and then the return trip overnight again, between 25 and 26 hours each way. We drove straight through. It was a great time. An overall excellent but sleepy trip in my workhorse Model Y. So subscribe if you haven't, but for today, thanks for watching. Thanks to everyone who shared their thoughts. Happy road tripping and happy Cybertrucking.